on, guys? It's Christina, and welcome to Wednesday. We are so excited because we are joined by Real Housewives of Dallas, Deandra Simmons. How are you?
Hi, Brody.
Hello.
Yes.
How are you guys?
I'm so good. How are you? You look beautiful.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, we're so happy to have you. Brody, how are you doing?
I am trucking along.
Trucking
Happy
along.
I'm next to this vision in pink.
I know. It's so
Well, I get to
beautiful.
wear pink because Cam's not here.
Yes.
Take every opportunity when she's not around to wear my pink.
I love
true.
it. I love it. Well, the season premiere is tonight, so we have a lot to talk about, and Deandra is going to help us break down everything in this week's issue. We have a lot to get to as well. Angelina, this custody battle keeps getting uglier by the minute, so we're going to break that all down. We also have some news on Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's divorce, plus Demi Lovato and the Jonas brothers, who are both ready to wed. So we have a lot to get to, and of course we want to hear from you guys, so please send us your questions and your comments. But let's first talk all about the Real Housewives of Dallas. We're so excited for the big premiere tonight. What can we expect?
Well, this year is going to be, I think, probably the best yet because we all know each other. We've spent 2 years together, the entire cast. And so when you know people better, then you're able to really contribute more to the show. So we're all contributing, and there's a lot of drama. Okay, I was like, drama, trust me. Hold on to your Stetsons. There is a lot of drama this year. Okay, I mean, so you'll love that. You'll love the different relationships. Of course, we talked about my mother's on the show again, and she's just a reality show and a person. I say, I could basically be a housewife, do nothing. My mother and my husband could do it for me. I just feel like they're just hoes the whole time. Okay. Oh yeah, that's great, isn't it? Great. It's like great trifecta. You know?
Definitely.
So all the girls, Brandy has a new baby, which I know that you know.
Yeah.
So gorgeous little Bruin, darling little boy, and of course with red hair. I mean, how could it get
any better than that? Yeah, no, definitely.
All the ladies have their own, lots of different things happening in their lives, and some of us may or may not be, our friendships change. So, I mean, in real life, you may not always have the same friendship with a person, and it's the same on TV. So you're going to see those, ups and downs, and how we try to navigate friendships and be friends with new people. And I mean, I am lucky because I got to make new friends this year, and last year I really didn't have that opportunity. So you're kind of navigating. As a new person on a show like this, you have to navigate and figure out, who are your friends? What's this person like? Am I going to get along with this person?
Who can
How
you
do
trust?
I fit in?
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. Who can you trust?
Right.
How do you fit in? And that was really last year for me, is I was trying to figure out where I fit into this group of ladies. And now I'm firmly grounded, and I know where I fit in.
That's great.
So.
And you guys went to Copenhagen this season
We did.
too. How was that
Exciting.
trip?
It was fun. We had a really good time. I enjoyed it more than anyone else because of the Michelin chefs there. All these girls, we had this fabulous food. I'm like, are you going to finish that? Are you going to finish that? Are you gonna finish that? Oh, thank you. I'm like, you can't leave this. We're in a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
It was great. We had a good time. We had a fun boat ride. We had a nice dinner with Kerry's family. It was wonderful.
That's great.
But drama too abroad, because usually with these trips for
there's
housewives,
always some
there's
drama.
always a little drama.
Well, if you saw in the trailer,
We sure did.
Okay, so Leah and I have a little altercation. I called it a little altercation. That was in Copenhagen. We had a disagreement, and then also Cam and I have, we're having some problems this year as well, which is surprising. Really surprised me. Completely surprised me.
Yeah.
So that's, I got to fight with everybody this year. I guess Leanne passed that wand over to me.
Not a baton, just like one of the
definitely. What's the status of your friendship with Leanne now? Because I know you guys have been through some ups and some downs.
We have. We are in a place. We were together last week for a photo shoot. We see each other out, and we're just kind of taking a break from our friendship because we've had a lot of different things happen with regards to our relationship this year, and I think we just needed some breathing room. I don't know if you remember, if you watched the reunion last year, I said, let's all just take a break and kind of just reassess and come back. I think that's where we are right now.
Sure. So you'll not be a bridesmaid in the wedding?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We got to see what's happening. I don't really know what's happening with her wedding.
Okay.
I have no idea what kind of plans. Once you kind of have a distance from someone, then you really kind of start losing information about their lives. You're not privy to the information about their lives. So I really don't know all that's happening with her wedding and what's going on in her life. Unfortunately, we were such good friends before.
Yeah. Do you think they will actually tie the knot at some point?
Well, you'll have to see.
That's
not for me to say.
Is that cryptic or being diplomatic? What was that?
They've been together for 10 years, so they, I guess, know each other very well. And if they want to get married, they'll get married.
Right. Because we were hearing that it was in October, but I guess
It
We'll have
was
to wait
in
and see.
October, I think, but I believe now it's in April of next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So only to be eclipsed by my 50th birthday. That's teasing. That's horrible. Of course, my 50th birthday is so much more exciting and important next year.
I love that. I love
And
that.
that's a real happening.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's
yes,
definitely
that
on the
will
schedule.
happen.
It's
That
not
will
definitely on the
happen. There's nothing I
calendar.
can do about the train leaving the track.
Yeah. How do you feel about turning 50?
Actually, turning 50, there's a lot of like, oh my God, I'm gonna be 50, I'm gonna be 50. But at 45, everything kind of fell apart. So I was like, what else can happen now? My face fell, my ass fell, everything else. I mean,
You can lift all
at 50,
those
I'm
weights.
gonna see it all. Now I can start lifting it back up.
I think you look fabulous.
I like the saying older and wiser, because I feel like the older I become, I learn lessons, and I don't make the same mistakes. I make new mistakes,
Okay.
unfortunately. I can blame it on dementia or amygdalas or whatever, But,
Amygdala. Just wait till you see the episode tonight.
Yes.
The amygdala.
Dementia, amygdala, all the same thing. So you learn, you live and you learn, and I have enjoyed my life, and I've also gotten to a place where I just kind of, whatever happens, happens. I don't take it so seriously anymore. I take a few things too seriously, and my friends kind of ground me and go, hey, it's not that important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see more of your husband too.
Yes.
We see him in the opening of the season. You guys really celebrate your vows and have an anniversary party every year.
We do.
That's
great.
incredible.
We try to do
should.
something fun and exciting. This year we had a big party with the girls, and at our friend's house, Bill Hutchinson had a party for us at his house. And I don't know what we'll do next year, but we really enjoy our marriage and the fact that we found each other. It's both of our second marriages, and we found each other after we weren't happy in our marriages before in our relationship. So it's a blessing to have him in my life, and he worships the ground I walk on. He's the best thing that ever happened to me, and
that's so nice.
we feel the same about each other. We're just very lucky to be in the relationship that we're in. We're very happy. And my husband is salt of the earth, grounded. I mean, he keeps me grounded because I'm a little flighty. He's the most, he's a military guy, salt of the earth. I mean, great values. His family values are amazing.
Yeah.
So he's a wonderful man.
That's great. Just want to remind everyone, we are actually live on Facebook and on YouTube. So we actually had a question from a viewer on YouTube asking what your sign is.
I'm Pisces.
Ooh. Do you feel like you're a true Pisces?
Well, I think when they hear my Pisces, they go, oh, well, I don't know. She doesn't seem very sensitive. I am sensitive. My vulnerability and sensitivity, I feel like I hide from people because I grew up with that strong mom who's also a Pisces, believe it or not. And I
we're
thought
gonna talk about
we gotta talk about your mom.
It's a weakness to be, to not be strong, but
Yeah.
I'm learning it's okay to be vulnerable, and that's a new lesson for me.
Yeah, definitely. Isabel says, you are beautiful. So nice.
Thank you, Isabel.
So yes, let's talk about your mom.
do.
Let's break this down. I know in last season she gave you pretty much the keys to the business. So what is the kind of the status of that right now? What is the status of your relationship with your mom? Tell us everything.
Well, if you notice, there was a little bit of tension between us in episode 1, and that is due to some changes in the family business decisions that were made.
Right.
So that key to the file cabinet doesn't open everything.
Uh-oh.
The door's not opening. So it wasn't one of those universal keys that opens everything. So we've had a little bit of changes with regards to that, and that put distance in our relationship. Now we're, on a good path and in a good place. But
That's good.
my mother and I'm the only child. We're always going to
tough.
we have hot tempers, and we're very strong-willed women. We're always going to have ups and downs, but we always come back together because we have true love for each other, and she's got my back and I have her back. I may say some smart-ass comments under my breath because all daughters do.
All
and
daughters
mothers
do, yes.
As you saw, mothers do as well.
Yes, they do.
She has a lot
Yes.
to say about
She
being
did.
surprised you settled down.
Yep.
You found someone. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she's, all I have with regards to family. My father passed away.
Sure.
My mother is, a widow, and I have my husband. I don't have any siblings.
Right.
So my mother and I are going to figure it out and make it work,
Yeah.
and good times and bad times.
Do you think she's ever too hard on you or too harsh?
Oh my God, yes.
I would hope so. That would be like the
Yeah.
normal thing. But maybe you're used to it. Maybe you do have a very thick skin.
I'm used to it, and it's made me, I'm grateful now. It was hell growing up, but I'm grateful now because it made me the person that I am. and it made me able to deal with things on a different level than probably most people. I mean, you have to have thick skin to do this anyway.
Sure.
Yeah. But I do have times when I just go, what am I doing? This is so hard. But my mother has given me a sense of purpose and value and strong values, and also determination. I mean, I'm pretty determined.
Yeah.
It's funny when you're saying that the other housewives, they all want her to be their mom, but you're like, it's a lot different when she actually is your mom.
Yeah.
She wasn't a big fan of that line.
No, she wasn't.
She was like, she couldn't. The next morning on the phone, I was like, oh God. But I was in trouble. She didn't talk to me for a couple of days after she saw it. Yeah.
Has being on the show changed your relationships with your mom and your husband at all?
My mother, there's tension because she sees me say in my interviews and commentary things that she doesn't want to hear, obviously, and it hurts her feelings. And then I have, mouth remorse. So
how do you explain that to her? Do you afterwards say, hey, this is like, don't worry, we're stronger than this? Do you say, hey, that's actually how it's feeling, you need to understand that?
Well, for this particular time period, the first episode, which you've seen, we weren't talking for 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Is that the longest you've gone?
No. She said, well, it was 2 weeks. I said, no, Mom, it was 2 months. We really, really had, an issue between the two of us. And so when you're not talking to someone, I was terrified when those cameras started the first day because I thought, what am I going to say? Because what's really happening is my mother and I are talking. And, and I just shared it. And I knew she was going to get mad, and I knew it was going to be a problem. Luckily, we worked it out. I did not know how it was going to go. I really didn't know. So it turned out okay, but it was a rough road for a while there.
Yeah, understandably so. You you could tell that you were uncomfortable when she comes into the party. But
she just didn't remember it like that, and I get it. I mean, it's been a long time.
Right.
So, but I think in the next, I said, Mom, look, by episode 6, you're Mother of the Year. Don't worry.
Don't worry. It's all people are going to forget about it. It's all going to turn around. Exactly.
There's redemption. Other people are getting it. Don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah. And then we talked about Brandy before. Is she happier than ever with this new little baby?
She is. Brandy and Brian and the girls, just the wonderful addition with Bruin. They're such a happy family. I feel like it's a completed family because she really wanted a little boy, and so did Brian, and he was so thrilled to have it. And I guess before, it wasn't that they had tension in their marriage. I never saw that. I just know that when you try for a baby, there's going to be tension, and there's going to be hard times, and that's going to weigh on you heavily and weigh on your marriage, and when you have 2 little girls too. So I'm thrilled that she was able to adopt Bruin, and I know that she feels like this is the next greatest phase of her life.
Definitely.
So
what's your relationship like with her now? Because I know you guys have been through some things, and it's a little bit of she said.
Right. So Brandy and I had a rough spot, which everybody knows about now. And I apologized because it was something. I had an interview. It was something about me, my insecurities about how I looked with being on a show with these group of women.
Sure.
And I made a blanket statement about, oh, everybody takes Adderall, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I know that it was, she thought it was her. It was not her. It was not directed. But in hindsight, I should have said it. I misspoke. So I just said, I'm sorry. It wasn't about you. That's not the point. I shouldn't have said it, period.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this journey is I get to apologize. I get a do-over. I get to say I'm sorry. And people can either say great or, we don't care if you're sorry or not or whatever. But Brandy forgave me. And that's between friends. That's what, should happen.
Sure, yeah.
And so we moved on. But Brandy's the fun girl. Okay, I am the fun girl too, but you wouldn't know that unless you knew me really well. I mean, I went to a women's college. We played stupid drinking games. We were bored out of our mind.
Yeah.
I mean, the boys were like 2 hours away. Okay, so what are you going to do at a women's college? You're going to play drinking games. You're going to dress up like really stupid. I mean, all kinds. We're going to take people's beds and put them on the roof. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Sure,
so
of course.
Brandy's kind of like my vacation Deandra. Really, and vacation Brandy have a great time together. You'll see that this year too.
In that interview at that time when you talked about the Adderall, you also said that someone made some comments about your weight, and you didn't say who that was. Would you say now, or are you not going there?
I stand by my word. I made a promise to that person that I would not do it, and I haven't done it.
Have they apologized to you fully about?
No, it's okay.
Wow.
It's fine. The thing about it is I said I wasn't going to say the name of the person, and I just need to stand by my word and do that.
Yeah,
because I don't want to
move
backtrack
forward.
and move forward.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with that person now?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
you kind of just put it in the past and moved on.
The person doesn't even know that I know.
Got
Gotcha.
They don't know that it's them. And so
Gives you an interesting card to play when you're dealing with
seriously.
that relationship.
I just kept it to my vest, and the reason is because when I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I stand by my word. That's what I do.
Yeah, definitely. What's that one moment that you can't wait for viewers to see this season?
my birthday party. Back to me. That's me. My birthday party.
And highlights from the birthday party too.
We go to the rodeo. We kind of like do, some fun drinking games.
Nice.
And we have a good time. So that's a fun moment. We have Stephanie has a party and for Brandy, obviously, when they reveal the baby, and that was really exciting. I say some smart things. That'll be next week. So just know I'll apologize right now.
I love that.
You try to make
I have to live out this thing from last year for at least 3 or 4 episodes.
Sure, of course.
There's just a lot of great things. Carrie, has we go to Copenhagen because of Kerry and her family, and that was a wonderful trip, and we had a good time. Cameron's still trudging along with the dog food business, and I don't really know where it is right now, but good for her. I'm glad to have another really businesswoman on the show.
Yeah, what's your relationship like with her? Because we see the two of you go back and forth, and that's tough to watch as a viewer who has seen your friendship before. Why do you guys have that temporary falling out, at least?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think that was the thing that shocked me the most this year, because Cameron and I have known each other for a long time, and I never thought that we would have any issues between us. But we had a few issues. We have, I've talked to her. She's come to my house for lunch. We've kind of discussed things. I don't know. She's very close to Leanne. So I will just say that's kind of me working things out with Cameron. There's been an impediment because Leanne and I are estranged, and she and Leanne have grown so close.
Yeah.
So hopefully Cameron and I can mend fences and go back to where we were before. But she lives 2 blocks from me.
Yeah,
it would be great to be able to just have it like it used to be. But like I said, relationships change, things change, and I think Cameron and I are at a place where we can fix it.
That's good. And also the issue when you're fighting with a friend who's that close, it can be so personal. When you guys are going back and forth, she brings up your mom, the way she talks to you. I was like, ooh, one, I can't wait to see that scene. But also,
and you also know, and this happened to me last year, when you have a good friend and you are kind of have a tense situation with another friend, maybe not as good of a friend, that friend's going to be talking in your ear.
Doesn't help.
So I have that going against me all the time. So no matter what I say, I still have the intimacy between the two of them and the friendship going against me.
Yeah. Who do you have the most fun with this season?
Oh, Brandy for sure.
Brandy,
Brandy and Stephanie and Kerry. So I guess, and then Cameron and Leanne. We do have fun in the beginning. We just kind of have our issues that we have to work through.
Got it.
So.
Desiree and Isabel are asking your favorite vacation spot.
Africa, for sure. Africa, anywhere that's not having a war in Africa is where I'm going.
Well, you've got a lot of, you've got some options there.
Right, definitely.
Where have you been that you really loved in Africa?
My husband and I took a trip to Namibia, which is a completely different part of Africa because of the Skeleton Coast and the red dunes and everything, and that was amazing. Kenya and, I've been everywhere. I've been so many places. So
That's amazing.
Zanzibar, the Seychelles. The Seychelles I went to when I was a single girl, which is the dumbest thing I could ever have done. I mean, everybody was on their honeymoon, and here I was. And nobody would serve me at the resort.
Really?
Because they're like, we're waiting for your husband. I'm like, I'm single! I'd just broken up with somebody. Not the right place to go. No. I learned my lesson.
That's amazing. That's so great. Well, we're so excited for the big premiere tonight at 9 p.m. on Bravo.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Yes, it's going to be so great. And you're going to help us break down some of the big stories that are going on today. So let's get right to it. We have to talk about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie because their custody battle is nastier than ever. After a week of he said, she said over meaningful child support and an August 21st court date that is looming, an insider is telling us that Angelina, who has 4 legal teams, is simply fighting the inevitable and that she sees the writing on the wall. Joint custody is a done deal and there is nothing she can do to stop it. Oh, this makes me so sad.
It is painful to watch the demise of Brangelina and all those people who are rooting for them to get back together. It's really not happening.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, bring it back to the show too. I know the ladies have said divorce. There's a really high rate of divorce in Dallas and in Texas. But you've probably seen people hash it out in public or keep it very private. And I'm assuming private works a lot better in the end.
Private is much better. I mean, like I said, I'm divorced, so in Texas you only have to wait 90 days to get divorced. My husband and I we weren't kind of in the situation where I'm in now, but we kept things private and quiet, and that was better for everybody. We didn't luckily have children. I mean, I think with their situation, there's so many children.
So many
you know,
kids.
that's where
Kids.
it's the damage, it's the collateral damage that you're doing to everybody else, having all this acrimony and this, you know, in your relationship. That's, you know, the hard part.
It is crazy that it's becoming so public, though. For a while, it was a little quiet.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
A source had told us earlier this year that they wanted to keep things quiet for the kids and they were hoping they could resolve this sort of peacefully. But then we saw the back and forth. Both legal teams were filing different documents. Her team said that he had not paid child support. His team said that she had never asked for child support.
Right.
Her team said he had offered her a loan with interest for the house. Her team said that she was pushed out of the house, so it's really been sort of a mudslinging competition.
Totally.
And he said, she said, and no one really wins in that scenario.
Yeah, Nancy is saying Team Pitt. It is just, I don't know. I don't want to say who it is.
Is it too hard for you to talk about
It
this?
is. I feel so bad for these kids because obviously some of them are at the age where they can just go online and see everything that people are saying about them. And the oldest one, I think, is 17, so he really can decide who he wants to spend the most time with, which I believe is Angelina. I don't think he spent too much time with Brad since the split, but this has been going on for 2 years now.
And it's really interesting because in the beginning, Brad was taking a back seat to all this, and her team was issuing the statements, but our source said that he really rolled up his sleeves and he's done playing Mr. Nice Guy. He really wants joint custody, and our source said that she really sees the writing on the wall and that they're going to eventually get there, but it's going to be awkward and ugly along the way.
Well, the judge back in June said that it's harmful for these children if they don't have a relationship with their father. So
this is true.
So we'll see what happens. But August 21st, next week, so we'll find out what happens then. Ooh. All right, so let's move on to Demi Lovato because we are learning more about her road to recovery. Following her drug overdose on July 24th, the singer is seeking an aggressive treatment. A source tells us for Demi, this is a strength test. Now, she chose a rehab that she considers a constructive experience that is much more drill sergeant-esque because that is what she needs to put her in check. It's great to see that she's taking the right steps to getting clean and moving forward.
Yeah, and it's always very admirable, I think, and helpful for fans when a celebrity is so open. I know you recently spoke about how when you're on Housewives, you open up your life and you have to be really honest, and you know it helps some people as well.
Yeah.
I think it's commendable when you can be that brave. And
people want to see you share your experiences, and they particularly like to see you sharing the difficult times.
Of course, because they can relate to it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but those are the
definitely.
hardest, undoubtedly, when it's the most personal and most painful thing. It's how do you talk about that, and when are you ready to talk about that?
Was that difficult for you when you first started the show, how much you wanted to open up yourself?
Not really. No. I think the worst thing was when we talked about the Adderall situation, I was talking about my weight. That was my big fear, is because, you know, I've always struggled with that. But then a lot of women reached out to me and they said, hey, you know, it's okay, we can relate to that and we understand. And so that's why I mentioned it, because I felt like other people would understand where I was, and then being under a microscope now, it's a lot. I mean, it's in my mind a lot. So with Demi Lovato, I think with her situation, her struggles, yes, it's hard. I know it's really hard for her, but people are gonna, you know, really root for her if she shares her story. Yeah, no, definitely. And she has been so open about it for so long.
She has, and she was worried. Sources have told us she was worried about letting down her fans. She had been sober for 6 years, and she released a song where she was very candid about the fact that she'd relapsed, and she had the overdose, and now she's in rehab. We were able to confirm she's in rehab, and she's in a tough rehab. She's taking it very seriously in her road to recovery.
Yeah. Well, we wish
people are forgiving. I mean, there's a lot of people that are very forgiving. There's trolls everywhere, but there's a lot of forgiving people out there.
No,
definitely. You can post any sort of picture or say anything, and someone out there will say something about it. So you have to sort of steel yourself against that if you can.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we are all rooting for Demi, definitely. All right, let's go on to Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Is their divorce off? Well, it very well could be, but not because they are getting back together. That's not going to happen. The former couple were warned by an LA Superior Court judge that if they can't settle their case, a judge has a right to call it off. Now, she has been stalling since filing in April of 2017 because she wanted to give Ben the time and opportunity to work on his health and sobriety, and that she will not settle until she's 100% certain that he is clean. So basically, she's stalling for him to be the best dad that he can be for their 3 children. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's a nice thing. And our source said that he wanted to wrap things up quicker, but also understands that this is the pace they have to go at. There's no chance of reconciliation. No reconciliation for Brangelina or Bennifer. No. But they're still headed towards a divorce, but a judge did say, hey guys, get it in gear. So at some point she'll have to figure out, when can I move forward?
Sure. Yeah, no, and it seems like we've talked about this before, that they have co-parenting down pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty much down pat, which is so important.
Yeah, they're both working parents, and they have to sort of juggle that and make it happen.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that.
No, don't, Christina, don't even try it.
No, it's romantic. I hope
You're
so.
still hoping Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez get back together?
No.
Because that's what I'm rooting for.
I'm all for J-Lo and A-Rod. I'm all about that. Okay, let's end this on a happy note. The Jonas Brothers, they are off the market and ready to wed. Nick, of course, is engaged to Priyanka Chopra, and a source is telling us that they could wed as soon as next month because Nick wants to marry her quickly. The planning is already taking place, with a source telling us that it may be in India. As for his big brother Joe and his fiancée Sophie Turner, they are taking things a little slower. A source tells us they are madly in love but aren't rushing to getting married. It's crazy because Nick and Priyanka just got together like a month ago, right?
Yeah, but we are in the era of Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson.
Yes.
Haley Baldwin and Justin Bieber. It's that rapid engagement and rush to tie the knot.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, we see Priyanka and Nick are on that track, but Sophie and Joe are old school and sort of like waiting out an actual engagement. Didn't you like being engaged for a while, or were you a quick to wed sort of
The
guy?
first time I was quick to wed,
Were you?
so we know how that turned out. I told you.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, the second time, I mean, I was in 45, I guess, when I'm 44, 45, when I met my husband.
Yeah.
So we dated for a year and then we got engaged. So, I mean, I just think at this age, and you don't need to wait 10 years to find out if you're going to be compatible with somebody.
You know.
I don't have 10 years to sit around and wait when I'm 55 to find out if this guy's going to work for me. You know,
Right. You know
let's
you
get out
want
with it.
too.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think about these quickie engagements when they're in their early 20s?
I have to use my logical brain. I don't see that being a long-lasting lifetime relationship, only because I know how much you change from 20 to 30 to 40. Every 5 years, you become almost a new person. So it's, for me, I hope they work. I mean, I'm really hopeful that they do work, but you change a lot. I mean, you know, things change. When you have children, you know, other things happen too. You have stepchildren like me, things happen, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
We'll have to wait and see.
Whose wedding are you more excited for?
Nick and Priyanka.
Oh.
Yeah. I just think it's
Sophie,
gonna,
she's going to get trumped by this
I
other
know.
wedding, and she's been engaged for longer. That's not fair.
They just zoomed up from the back and cut
They
right
did. But Indian weddings are absolutely beautiful.
I mean, it's going to be breathtaking
oh my
and
God,
insane, and she's so famous.
Yes,
in
she
India
is.
too.
Yeah, it is going to be like over the top, like you could not even imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what those photos are going to look like. I think it's going to be beautiful. So we'll have to wait and see. So hopefully it's soon, but I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see.
We shall see. Andrew, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
very
by
much,
and talking
Christina.
all about
Appreciate
the
it. And Brandy,
new,
thank you.
Yes, oh my God, thank you for
the
coming.
new season of Real Housewives of Dallas premieres tonight.
Tonight,
9 p.m. on Bravo. So make sure you check it out, and then make sure you check out the latest issue of Us Weekly because that is on newsstands right now. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.